What's up, internet friends? Welcome to the Empty Escape Pod. In this video, I'm going to be giving a very late and very brief review of the first issue of the Sentry. I absolutely loved this. I cannot overstate it enough. I loved this, had no problems with it, can't wait to keep reading it. But getting into specifics on that, it has some of my favorite things about old school comics without the one big thing I don't like, which is the over explaining of stuff and just overloading you with text. So the things that it had that I loved was the classic spandex suits. Fantastic. Love to see those in a modern comic. And just I forget what it was specifically, but there's some terrible pun near the beginning of it, which is half cringe and half applause. That kind of walks that line of being so bad that it's funny. So I like those two things about it. I love that it's not about he's not a hero in the traditional sense in this run. He's very much in an existential crisis, basically, in dealing with who he is and who he wants to be and who he has to be in reality. And I think all of that is super interesting, that he's a deep character and that it's really about this existential crisis that he's going through. And going off that, I love the fact that he is his own worst enemy, and that by being the Sentry, he creates the Void, which is this shadow version of himself that is... The Sentry is incredibly powerful, so by proxy, the Void is also incredibly powerful. So I love that fact that he is also his own worst enemy, quite literally. I think that's super cool. And then at the end, they do a huge tease of whoever the villain is coming around, which I would assume that it's the Void, but because they tease it the way that they do, it makes me kind of think it might not be. I don't know who else it would be. And honestly, I don't know which way I want to go with that, because like I said, I like the fact that he's his own worst enemy in the Void, so would love to see him, but at the same time, it'd be really interesting to see him having to deal with a different villain while also dealing with keeping the Void contained. So I absolutely love this one. Cannot say enough good things about it. Probably my favorite first issue that I've read this year, honestly. And super excited to keep reading it, of course. So that's my review of this first issue of The Sentry. Thank you guys for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.